Hello everyone, it's Violet Dream here. I am back with another video, so I'm sorry for taking a long break. I just had run any ideas to do for my YouTube channel, so just bear with me while I get my work schedule all figured out and my personal life in check. But today's video is gonna be one of those videos I am gonna do a video discretion is advised because of how sensitive this topic can be on many people. So, if you're not comfortable with talking about death, injuries, to lawsuits, stuff like that, I recommend you not watching this video because it's just something that I need to get off my chest because it's just some emotions and thoughts I wanted to share with you guys before it can get better because it's just something that needs to be talked more. But I know at least three. I know, like, maybe a good chunk you know which thing I'm talking about, but if not, I am gonna talk about the Travis Scott incident that did happen a little over a year ago. So I wanted to do it when I hit the 1 year anniversary and doing it, but I got busy with when I was busy trying to get planned for the con that was happening around that time, to trying to get work all figured out around that week. But I'm sorry if I didn't do it the year it was year around the year when it happened. But anyways, without me jabber jabbing, but Travis Scott does these concerts called Astro World, which is based on his album based on the same name. He does these concerts at a past Six Flag Six Flags Astro World used to be in Houston, Texas. I know many of you know a little bit more than have more info about why he did it, but if not, that's fine. But if you do, I do want to hear your part of it. But I'm not a Houston resident or anything like that. But anyways, he's been doing these concerts since 2018. So 2018. So the first concert that he did was the very first. So there was a lot of things they couldn't approve on, like the safety concerns with the guests, and them barricading through security, breaking metal detectors. And I do these events in person, so I am also gonna put my own thoughts into it and what I think should have been done and what do I think who gets needs to be held responsible, because this has been going on a little over a year and I just feel like someone needs to have at least some responsibility to this, because thousands and thousands of people attend this event. We are talking to the point where it was overcrowded, because all this was filmed in Apple TV Live or Apple Music. Please, I think it's streamed on either Apple Music. That's what it was. But I'm not sure if you can watch the footage from it now. But it was, if you had the chance to look at the footage, it was crowd raised. You see people like very little people like gasping for air if you look close enough. It was bad, but the biggest thing I have with this event, like, this is not Travis Scott's first rodeo with the police in concerts and him getting put to jail and fined because of his behavior and his fans' behaviors at concerts. But I'm not gonna talk about those because I don't want to make the video too long. But he did get in trouble with the law, I think 2 or 3 times before Astroworld happened. But with Astroworld, it's supposed to be his hometown where he can share his music with local residents and all that. But I had a friend that got tickets, like right when tickets went on sale, and I think he told me they were sold out within, oh gosh, 30 minutes to an hour after they were posted. So yeah, that's how popular this guy is. I'm not gonna like have any meaning towards this because he is one of the new artists that wants to be the big hit and like rap music and all that. And to me, I just don't like his music in my opinion. If you do, that's good on you. I'm not gonna have any opinions on that. But to me, I think to me, where it signed the red flag right when tickets were sold out, or the day after tickets were sold out, he did post a tweet or a Facebook post. I'm not sure what it is. If you do know, please let me know, because I might be wrong, but he did say, oh, tickets were sold out, and he said, oh, just come to the rave. I think, I'm gonna let a few hundred in at a time because I need to know. I need to let people have a good time and not be ripped off because of how they weren't able to get tickets and stuff like that. My thoughts on this: there's a reason why venues can hold a certain amount of people at one time. It's because they don't want to be overcrowded. It makes it harder on staff, which I will get to that in a little bit once I talk about the staff and security stuff. But it puts more pressure on the venue and the staff because it's twice the work. And if you have staff that are really experienced, that can put so much pressure on us because people are gonna get angry. People say, "Oh, we're just gonna go in because my favorite artist is on," or "Oh, I just want to go in and get merch." It makes it harder on us and more stressful because we want to have a good reputation on on the people. Because if you put the good reputation on people, then you get to come back and work for them, and you might have more of the same people come back to maybe the same venue towards another event or the same event. It all comes to play, but I just find that to be a big red flag right before Astro World even happened, because I just think that's just a stupid move on his end, because I understand he wants his fans to be having a good time and all that, and Astro World is his hometown. He wants to be a good reputation on his residents and all that, but there's a time and place where he needs to step back and say, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I understand I'm doing way too much," because I understand he doesn't want anything to happen to his fans. I know he wants to get a good amount of his fans to come in and do stuff, but the thing is, he needs to have a clear head saying, "I got all tickets are sold out," and there's sometimes if venues are willing to ask artists would you come in and do a second tour date if you're willing to do that, or another date you can come by so we can schedule more people to see you. And a good amount of artists will agree to this if it fits in their schedule. But many artists are like a one-time thing, which I understand. But if it's gonna be a sold out, if you have so much people on the line wanting to see you, maybe you can schedule a second date or something like that. But that's just my opinion. I think that's a better move for them, so people won't get too much injured. But I just think I can understand Travis Scott's fan base's rage and all that, but if you because he does these things called mosh pits. If you don't know what they are, it makes you can look it up in your own time and it will make perfectly sense why people are like the edgy kids or the people that want to be cool and hip, which I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind people doing that because it's the new thing nowadays. But the way that Travis Scott does it at his concert, it's just unforgivable because it just makes him a bad reputation on the venue because it just tells them if they're willing to have this artist or this tour back, because if they do if they wrong move on not taking security seriously, then yeah, that's gonna raise some red flags saying, oh, I don't want this artist to come back because they're just too much to handle. And I don't want the staff to be overworked, I don't want the fans to get hurt, and I don't want the venue to get even to have a bad rep on it because by having this artist come in. Which I do feel like not many people don't recognize this reason because it just makes the venue so bad to the point where they just don't want to have this guy. Like, I understand he's a top hit celebrity, but they also have to keep in mind if their fan base is going to be in a good mood, they're not going to cause any damage. If anything gets damaged, then guess what? The venue is going to sue over the people that did the tour. Like, I understand it was their job and all that, but but the people that do the event have some legit responsibility of how they should handle it, because it's their audience, their fans, and they should find a way to control it in a way where security does not need to step in every time and say, whoa, 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 we got people doing this and all that. But now I'm gonna talk about the staff and security because I know many people are blaming them. I can understand that in 100%. I do understand why they're gonna do that. But there's a time and place where you gotta understand that the last few Astro Worlds events, they were understaffed. I'm not gonna go into rough numbers of how much understaffed they were, but the 2021 incident, they were so understaffed. I'm not kidding. They didn't have enough first responders there. They didn't have enough medical supplies there. They were understaffed in security, police, and if you look at pictures and images of the concert itself and the lines and footage of like the sky view of the audience crowds, yeah, it was overcrowded. The merch line was overcrowded, which does put them to have so much pressure on the merch staff by having people try not to get angry, by not standing in line for so long, to people like trying to have like a good attitude. But there is a time during the concert where they had to say, whoa, 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 we need to stop the merch line because there was too much people, because merch itself does not have a lot of merch for everyone to buy, which is obvious because they have limited supplies on everything. They cannot go buy everything for everyone because it just costs so much money to do. But another thing I also do see that I consider big red flags is how people treat the security and the police officers, because if you look at the footage of this event, either from the videos of the links down below or any pictures or anything like that, you can understand why it can cause a health risk and a health safety hazard for the people that are attending and the staff, because in the videos and footage I looked throughout the past like year and a half, they broke down metal detectors. Those are roughly a few $100 each, maybe more, depends on how the equipment is and how much money it is towards the venue. And it's not easy, it's not cheap to fix, because you had to buy the parts, you had to buy all this for the machine, and they cause damages. And guess what? The venue has to pay hundreds, maybe thousands for a new metal detector and all that, because it's just part of safety. Because I know people don't like going through them, but you gotta understand, it's like the easiest way to do it without having a sniff dog or a police dog checking every single person like at an airport. But without me rumbling about that, but I also do want to point out that a lot of sources I did look at, there was a lot of people saying a lot of the staff doing the security and all that were pulled out from the streets. Like, they had no experience, they had very little training, they didn't have certified CPR license, you have like any medical documents that show you that they're a real doctor, they know what they're doing. But I just found that to be kind of shallow to me because venues want to have like the best staff, because I can understand we want to have a good staff where they know what they're doing, because if not, someone's gonna get hurt, possibly dying on their end, because if someone dies in your arms if you're a medical responder, guess who gets all the blame? You and the artist, because you try to save someone's life or try to fix someone and they're either paralyzed to possibly dead because someone didn't take action sooner or they didn't have the right proper material. Which I can understand people being upset about that. It's a full-on concert, but you need to have a good amount of material to have a good amount for like every like few hundred, a few thousands. If I believe that's correct with how the medical equipment works, but it all varies on venue to venue. But to me, I just feel like they could have done more and have more experienced people, because a lot of people that attended these events that were certified nurses and doctors and CPRs and all that had to help staff that were low experience to help the injured, which I don't mind, which I do consider that to be helpful, but 90% of the staff that are like medical that work at the event, that are not the fans and all that, were not certified, which I kinda feel like that's a bad rap on the venue that hired him, because it just leaves a bad mark. Because I can understand you can have certified ambulance drivers and all that from the hospitals and all that, but there's a time and place where you need to hire professionals, not people that are like off the street. Says, hey, here's you want to earn a $300 for a shift at a concert? Here, just sign up. No proof, no training, no license, none of that, which it just breaks my heart, because I do these events a lot and it just hurts me to see how people use them as the way to go the shortcut, the really cheap shortcut way. And it just hurts me to see that, because I do events, but the medical responders are certified, licensed medical ambulance drivers. Like we have MRI, we have MRIs, we have first responders from like fire trucks to ambulance to police cars on duty, instead of having low on people just coming on the street saying, "Oh, I'm new to this. Can you help me out?" But it just upsets me to see people like that, because it just tells me that they just don't care, or they're just going down the cheap route because they're broke or they had little or no money to ask. The official says, "Oh, just come to the concert for a few hours and you'll get paid this, or you get this in the end," which I consider that to be something that could have been done, because it's easy. It's easy to do. You just have to call them and say, "Oh, if you do come, you get this and that, you get this and that in the end," and it works out in the end. But the way they did it, it just upsets me, because I'm not gonna go too drastic of how, because a lot of the stories that people did see while attending this event were really, really graphic, and I'm not gonna explain too much. But a lot of people either didn't support the body well enough, or they just brought the body entirely, because they had no idea how to handle a dead body or injured body, so they make the patient even worse by possibly more injured or possibly more dead because of how they treated the bodies. But if it was up to me, it's just something that I just consider that a huge big miss for me. Like, I understand, like, you're trying to do shortcut ends on events, which I can understand that, but there's a time and place where you need to, like, say, "Oh, I need to have certified people in here," because it's just something that's common sense for everyone. But that's my opinion. And another thing, I will also want to consider is Live Nation is part of the blame here. Like, I know people are gonna have mixed feelings about this. I understand they're the big corporation and all that, but they did have a responsibility of hosting this event with the tickets, signing the terms and agreements with Travis Scott and the venue and the city of Houston and all that. But they do have some part of the blame towards it, which I just think that's just something that many of us are gonna have mixed feelings about, because it's just something that we're all gonna blame Travis Scott. For sure, he had mostly 70 to 80% of the blame, but there are smaller details to it that's not just Travis Scott himself, because the multiple parties did have some reasons to not take action or need to take action. Like Apple Music itself, I can see a part of the blame as well. I'm not gonna like do a full report on it, but they did host this thing live, which I don't mind having like concerts live. I don't mind that. It gets a better audience to see the artist, but the thing is, there were tons and tons of people just begging for people to stop the show, because people were either gasping for air to possibly being crushed to death because of how impact they were right when the countdown came down. That's when shit got real to like a good amount of people, because they couldn't escape, which I find that to be very scary, but they couldn't escape from the crowd, they couldn't leave, so they were all crushed in one big old barricade. And a lot of these people were short people. Like, I'm under 6 foot. I'm like I'm like under 6 foot. And if I was in that thing, I would have been crushed to death and probably dying, because of how little space there is for short people to do it. Like, I can understand some people were tall enough to breathe and all that, but there were some people that were very young to the point where they cannot breathe, and then they were the victims because of how young they are and how short they are, because of how packed they were all together in one space. I also do want to give a small heads up. I want people to respect these people. I don't want anyone to go after these people, because I just feel like that's something I don't want my audience to do, or my fans to do, because it's just something that I just want to keep it personal and just cut right to the chase, because a lot of these kids that died, I think the youngest was like 9 or 10, and the oldest was like in the late 20s, early 30s, if I'm guessing that right. But I'm not gonna list names or anything like that, because that's just personal to the people that. I'm just gonna give people respect to the people that passed away. If you are one of those people that knows someone that passed away or injured themselves, alright, I just pray for you guys. I hope you guys get better, because this thing did impact so many people, if they were in the show or not the show, because this is something that many people can have a big impact on, because all of us love going to these concerts. Even I do. I'm slowly going back to concerts, because I just went to maybe one back in March, and I have one coming up later this month. But it can impact so many people that did win to those that didn't. I know that people are gonna be angry at this, but for the people that tried to stop the show, I understand they're not heroes, but if I was in their shoes, if I see someone dying, I'd rather go talk straight to someone and say, oh, this person is dying, or this person needs some space, so back up, because I consider them to be heroes. I know people are gonna have mixed feelings about that, but I consider them to be heroes, because if it wasn't for them, it's just something that many people are gonna have a mixed reaction. But if it weren't for them trying to speak up, many people would have been more hurt and injured than they were. Because I understand many artists are gonna have their ways, excuses why they couldn't see, but these people were trying their absolute hardest to make the show stop because either they were impacted or they see someone they know and love or a complete stranger just passed out right on the floor or gasping right next to them because they just couldn't breathe. Because I know many people aren't gonna hate me, but many of Travis Scott concerts, most likely someone is gonna get injured and die because I don't know why he continues to go down this path, which I consider that to be kind of not real, but I'm trying, but kind of pathetic on his end because an artist's reputation is really big towards so many people in life. Like, I have artists that I love going to see. I do. They're super nice. They treat the audience well. They don't treat their fans like crap. They take safety seriously, and they're willing to have a little fun without taking it too far. Which I like to see in an artist, but with how Travis Scott is dealing with it lately, it's something that is gonna have a big impact on how people wanting to see him in concert because his crowd is kind of crazy, kind of rage type of crowd, kind of like Rage basically, but like on a more bigger scale, which I'm not gonna go into details about that because that's just something I don't want to get too into details about it. But many of you probably get what I'm trying to get here, what I'm trying to say, because Travis Scott himself had many sponsors and collabs with so much third parties to like first party companies, like from Fortnite to Nike, McDonald's, and all that. And all that is charged to children, which I don't mind people following their celebrities and all that, but there's a time and place where I know that parents are mostly gonna agree to this more than kids, but there's a time and place where you need to like step back and understand. Oh, this I can listen to his music every once in a while, but I would not see him in concert because I don't want to put my life at risk. Which I think that's what many of the fans are thinking about him right now. Which I don't, I can understand them why they did that, but it's just something that many of us could relate to. I know like many people are gonna have different opinions about that, but it's just to the point where we need to like understand where responsibility needs to be held, and I just feel like people need to know what happened, including me, because I've been doing these events, similar events, for a little over 3 years. I'm just absolutely curious how and why this got so bad, because I know the police did try to stop him before the event, saying, "Oh, I know this is gonna get very bad," and I'm not sure if he didn't care or he just didn't listen. I'm not sure if that's part of it. Or I'm not sure the way how he treated his fan is impacting it. I'm not too sure. But I'm just hoping everyone understands what is going on, because there are about 2 or 3 lawsuits that's still going on. One of them is based on I think the victim's parents that were killed or possibly injured really bad in this venue at the event. To one of the, I'm not gonna say the name of the victim because again, safety and privacy is my top priority while I'm talking sensitive topics like these. But his family did file a lawsuit with others that based on Travis Scott, which I think, to be honest with you, I just feel like Travis Scott needs to have some responsibility because it was his concert. He hosted it. He needs to control his fans. I know every artist that are new will get a little carried away. I can understand that they're new to the music industry and all that, but I just hope he learns from this and not goes down this path like he does in his other concerts, because Because it just pains me to see an artist just uses his fans as his army. Because I know a lot of us love going to see our artists, but if it's someone that's gonna put everyone's safety at risk, either I just don't see them in person or just stop listen to their music in general, because I don't wanna feel the pain like the others did, because it just hurts me as an individual that might have looked up to this person for years and years and years, and find out that the dark side to an artist, which Travis Scott does have he does have some trouble with the law, but since this event happened, Fortnite cut the contract. McDonald's got the contract with his Travis Scott meal back, I think in the mid or late 2000s. I think that's when they did it, but it got to the point where it got really bad, and many of us just wants to see him held responsible at last, because this stuff can have an impact on many people. I know many of us are just gonna have a big iffy on this, but it can have a big impact on people on ways that we don't even know. But I just hoping you guys understand where I'm coming from this discussion, because it does impact me as a person, and see how I view my job as something, if I want to do this in person or if I want to do this in real life, or something I need to look into and get a better job that's not as stressful. Because to me, I just feel like someone needs to be held responsible. I don't care if it's like a little fine or anything, but this case needs to have someone accountable. If this thing gets dropped, I'm kind of probably gonna be disappointed, because people lost lives from his events before, and I seen it before on social media and all that. Not in person, because I will never go to his concerts. I'm not a fan of his music, but he put so many lives at risk, because I think a few hundreds of people were injured by the crowd surfing mostly, and there was a few that were probably due to other injuries and all that, but I'm not gonna go into too much detail on that. But I hope everyone understands what I'm trying to get through my points from this, because it just upsets me, because I understand artists have a reputation for many, but many of us do want to know what happened, because this is one of those events where we need to know, like 100%, someone needs to be held responsible, because the police were understaffed, the staff were understaffed. Travis Scott did a whole 180 and says, "Oh, I'm gonna let a few hundreds of people come in for free because I want you guys just to have a good time." Which, I don't know, to be honest, guys. This is one of those things that leads so much more questions than answers, because a lot of us has more questions than answers, 100%. But it's just to the point where we need to have someone to be held responsible for this, because it's just something that needs to be addressed more. But if you want me to do any updates on this, please let me know. I know this is something that it took me a while to talk about, because of how big impact it impacted me, both physically and emotional, with my work and attending these events in person. But do let me know in the comments if you want me to do an update on this, because I will do I'm gonna try to update you guys. But if you guys are willing to have more like a talk or a quick talk, please let me know in the comments down below if you want like an update or anything. I'm more than happy to do an update on this if you guys are willing to. But other than that, guys, I am hoping everyone that did impact this, both at concerts or without concerts, do get better, because this is something that will impact many people. But also, before I go, I'm gonna talk about a little quick story that previously I did say my friend did was thinking about going to this concert, but he canceled changed plans because of this event. Because if it's like plans got in the way and all that, but he was he was one of those people that was gonna be in the mosh pit, but I told him just don't go because I showed like him videos of his concerts and all that and how wild and crazy it gets, and he told me, okay, I'll look into it, I'll think about it. But I think 3 or 4 months before his concert was taking place, he decided not to go because the life plans got in the way, and he didn't want to because life was more important to him at the time than a Travis Scott concert. But he, after the event happened, I did tell him that something did happen at the concert, and he said really. I'm like, yeah. So I showed him some of the footage of it from like social media to like news stations, anchors, stuff like that, and he was just emotionally angry, if I'm gonna put it lightly, because he was dealing with a lot of mixed emotions while I was showing it, because Travis Scott was one of his biggest influencers of rapping and all that, but he was shocked that this got that bad because he does not want to go to an event where his life is gonna get harmed and all that. So he decided to he was gladly got a refund, which I'm happy for him, but he got to the point where he's like, okay, I need to stop doing stuff like this to myself and listen to myself. Do I really want to go to another of his concerts and put my life on the line? Which he doesn't. They're nice people. They are nice people, but he was just in the wrong mind space because his crowd is Travis Scott's audience is kind of like low, like young adults to like young kids. But he probably I'm not gonna say too much of what he told me after that because it's kind of personal. But he decided to not leave Travis Scott, but give him a break until this whole thing dies down. Which I can understand that, but it's up to you guys how you feel about Travis Scott when this thing happened. But that's my opinion because I just feel like he might get canceled because if you think about it. I know many people are gonna have their own opinions about this. I get that, but I am. But I'm also gonna just say one last thing before I go is that the record deals, the recordings and all that, they can pull the plug on you like right away if you do something bad move or anything like that. I'm not sure how it runs in the music media, but if you pull one small innocent move that can harm someone or anything like that, they will be more than likely to pull the plug saying, hey, you did the wrong move, we're not gonna do any more music with you, so here you go, and we're done having a contract with you. But to me, it's too early to tell, but to me, I think he might have responsibility or some part of him probably getting canceled, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not gonna point fingers at anyone right now because of it. But I hope people do understand that his career might be in jeopardy because of it, which I can understand why, but anyways, guys, I am gonna end the video here, so I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving holiday tomorrow, and I hope everyone stays safe out there, and I hope everyone has a good day or good night or wherever they are, and I see you guys later. And don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and don't forget to follow me on social media. If you want to do that, go right ahead. I will have links in the description down below. As always, guys, stay adventurous, my explorers, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!